130 million years ago, the world had no flowers, no roses, no sunflowers, no color in any plant anywhere on Earth. The forests and plains were entirely green, ferns, conifers, cycads, and mosses covering every surface, but producing nothing that bloomed, nothing that attracted insects with color or scent, nothing that produced fruit. Then flowering plants appeared, and within approximately 30 million years, they had replaced most of the plant life that had dominated Earth for hundreds of millions of years before them. Today, flowering plants, Angiosperms, account for approximately 90% of all plant species on Earth. For most of the time that complex plant life has existed on Earth, the world was green and only green. The dominant plants of the Jurassic and Early Cretaceous were Gymnosperms, a group that includes modern conifers, cycads, ginkgos, and their relatives. Gymnosperms reproduce using exposed seeds, often in cones, without producing flowers or fruit. They had dominated the land for over 200 million years by the time flowering plants appeared. Ferns and tree ferns covered the forest floors and filled gaps in the canopy. Horsetails grew along riverbanks. The landscape was lush and productive, but visually monotonous. No blooms, no fruit, no color variation beyond shades of green. Pollination in gymnosperms relies primarily on wind. Pollen is released into the air and carried by chance to female cones. It is an inefficient system that requires producing enormous quantities of pollen to ensure reproduction. The relationship between plants and insects that defines modern ecosystems, where insects actively carry pollen between specific plants in exchange for food, did not yet exist in its modern form. The exact origin of flowering plants, Angiosperms, is one of the longest-running debates in plant evolutionary biology. Charles Darwin himself called it an abominable mystery, a phrase that paleobotanists still use today. The oldest confirmed angiosperm fossils date to approximately 130 million years ago, during the Early Cretaceous period. Montsechia vidali, found in lake deposits in Spain, and Archaeofructus, found in the Yishan Formation in China, are among the earliest known flowering plants. Both were aquatic or semi-aquatic plants, small, simple, and nothing like the showy flowers of modern angiosperms. The first flowers were almost certainly small, simple, and insect-pollinated. The relationship between flowering plants and insects was the engine of angiosperm success. Plants that produced nectar and visible signals to attract insect pollinators reproduced more efficiently than those relying on wind. Insects that specialized in visiting specific flower types became more efficient at finding food. This mutualistic relationship, where both plant and insect benefit, drove the rapid co-evolution of flowering plant diversity and insect diversity simultaneously. As plants diversified into different flower shapes, colors, and scents, insects diversified to exploit them. Each new flower type created a new ecological opportunity for a specialized pollinator. The spread of flowering plants across the world was remarkably rapid by evolutionary standards. By approximately 100 million years ago, just 30 million years after the first confirmed angiosperms, flowering plants had become the dominant vegetation across most of Earth's land surface. The gymnosperms that had ruled for over 200 million years were pushed into refuges, the cold northern forests where conifers still dominate today, and isolated environments where specific gymnosperm lineages survive as relics. The dinosaurs of the late Cretaceous lived in a world already dominated by flowering plants. Hadrosaurs and other herbivorous dinosaurs fed on angiosperm vegetation. The forests that the T-Rex hunted through were filled with flowering plants recognizable to modern eyes: magnolias, relatives of modern oaks and maples, and early relatives of grasses. The speed of the angiosperm takeover was driven by several advantages over gymnosperms. Flowering plants reproduce faster. The angiosperm seed is enclosed in a fruit that protects it and often helps disperse it via animals. Their leaves are typically broader and more efficient at photosynthesis in a wider range of conditions, and the insect pollination system is dramatically more efficient than wind pollination for targeted reproduction. The rise of flowering plants did not simply change what the landscape looked like, it restructured every land ecosystem on Earth. The insect diversity that co-evolved with flowering plants is staggering. Approximately 80% of all insect species today are directly associated with flowering plants for food, reproduction, or both. The diversification of bees, butterflies, beetles, and flies as pollinators tracks closely with the diversification of angiosperms in the fossil record. Fruit, the seed-bearing structure unique to angiosperms, created an entirely new food source for animals. Fruit-eating birds and mammals spread angiosperm seeds across vast distances, accelerating the dispersal of flowering plants into new environments. Many mammal lineages, including the primate lineage that eventually produced humans, diversified in close association with fruit-bearing angiosperms. The grasses, a family of flowering plants that appeared approximately 66 to 70 million years ago and diversified rapidly after the dinosaur extinction, transformed the land surface further. Grasslands covering vast areas of every continent created the grazing ecosystems that produced horses, elephants, bison, antelopes, and the large predators that hunted them. Before 130 million years ago, the world had no color in its plants, no flowers, no fruit, no scent designed to attract another living thing. The first flower changed the relationship between plants and animals permanently. It created partnerships between flower and bee, between fruit and bird, between seed and mammal, that restructured every land ecosystem on Earth and produced most of the plant and animal diversity that exists today. Every fruit you have ever eaten, every flower ever grown, every bee that ever pollinated a crop, all of it traces back to a small aquatic plant that bloomed for the first time in an early Cretaceous lake 130 million years ago. This is Cosmic Earth.